Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Can you see this slide number 14?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is the nucleus that you have already come across diterpenoidal precursor that you have seen a variety of different components can be synthesized. I have presented in diterpenoid units. So this is also commonly called GGPP, geranyl pyrophosphate. Mean one geranyl unit, another geranyl unit coupled to form this is coupled in head to tail. So what happens for tetraterpenoid? It undergoes tail-to-tail combination, just similar to triterpenoid. In triterpenoid, this is farnesyl pyrophosphate, 2 units combined. Here it is 20 carbon unit to get coupled to 40 carbon unit. So what happens? Very similar mechanism takes place. This OPP is in equilibrium. This OPP is present here, and we have a double bond here. You already remember this also exists in this form. I presented in the beginning of this course, terpenoids when we started with. So what happens? Synthase substitutes this from hydride, or you can say directly from here, it can convert into there following a SN2 mechanism. Both are possible that this leaves this electron pair pi electron transfer to generate a double bond here, and a hydride is transferred to this. It also happens directly from here following the SN2 mechanism, it can produce this, or it can undergo following SN2 mechanism. SN2 is not possible. This is a tertiary carbon. So it may undergo SN1 mechanism. First, this group leave generate positive charge, and then the enzyme transfer hydrides, generating a hydrogen at this position. Right? Now, this carbon, you see this carbon, electron rich is electron, this is electron deficient, is electron rich after this action of synthase enzyme. Very similar action is this, just like I have already presented here. It is farnesyl pyrophosphate. Synthase is transferring a hydride and results in the formation of this entity. Electron deficient carbon is converted into electron rich carbon. So very similar is here taking place, result in the formation of this entity. Now this carbon is electron rich. On the other hand, this carbon is electron deficient. This is another GGPP. This is one GGPP. After the action of synthase, this is other GGPP. So both GGPP are undergoing, this is a tail, this is also a tail carbon. So tail to tail combination is taking place. So what happened? This electron pair, this bond transfers to this oxygen because more electronegative. This carbon become electron deficient. Pi electron transfer here, generating a positive charge here. This hydrogen transferred from synthase leaves to generate a double bond here. Now look at here. This is what is being presented. 1, 2, 3, 4 methyl groups. 1, 2, 3, 4 methyl group. They are presented following a CH2 CH2. This is one CH2 and afterward, if you see, you will get a double bond here. So double bond CH2. This is the double bond CH2. Then the new bond is forming between this carbon and that carbon. This carbon is this carbon. Now this carbon is this carbon. So this is a new bond has been formed here. Again, this is a double bond, double bond. Now here we have methyl above the plane. Here we have a methyl down the plane. So you can see this is the tetraterpenoid precursor. I hope this shall be clear to everyone. Now you can see it contains 20 carbon this side and 20 carbon this side. Total how many? 40 carbons. So this is the biosynthesis of tetraterpenoid precursor. Just like you have come across 30 carbon unit is called squalene, but there is not such name given to them because diterpenoid precursor is not named. This is called GGPP. So that's why this is not also given any specific name that we can say, like carbon 15 unit is commonly, and carbon 10 unit is called uroyl pyrophosphate or geranyl pyrophosphate. They are the basic precursor of all natural product monoterpenoids. For sesquiterpenoid, this is farnesyl pyrophosphate, is a basic precursor. For diterpenoid, this is GGPP, geranyl pyrophosphate, which is a basic precursor, converts into a variety of different. You have seen a very complicated one as well, 20 carbon unit like taxol, another type of this. Similarly, you have come across many of our diterpenoidal units. So when two of farnesyl unit combines FPP, it generates in the formation of one squalene, right? Which is a basic precursor for triterpenoid. Similarly, when GGPP, diterpenoid precursor combine, it forms 40 carbon unit. But this is not given any specific name. This is commonly called tetraterpenoidal precursor. I hope this shall be clear. Now let's see if I present a few of its biosynthesis further, how it generates a lot of many other natural products. This is the tetraterpenoidal precursor. Just you have seen the synthesis of this. This is the same. I have represented here. Now what happened, you see, between these two double bonds, there is a CH2. This is unsaturated. It is a saturated system. Very similar is here. Two on this side and two on the other side. Similarly here and there is another double bond, another bond. So three this side and three other side. From this green new bond, three in this side and three in this side. So what happened? Dehydrogenase. Dehydrogenase is an enzyme I have presented with red. What is the role of this? It brings out double bond at these 5 positions. You see, this is one, 2 on this side, 1, 2 on this side, and this central one as well. But this CH2 and this one, they are not been dehydrogenated by it. These are not been dehydrogenated by dehydrogenase, but all other position 1, 2 here, similarly 1, 2 here, and this one, central one, between the two GGPP unit where they combine. So this is also CH2. So no, this double bond, you see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double bond. But we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new bond that I have presented with red. Now total, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 double bonds are in conjugation. In this molecule, it is colorless, a solid material. It is not colored. But when dehydrogenase works on this, it have 11 double bonds now in conjugation. So it emits, it is red color. It transmits yellow, red radiation. So what radiation it absorbs? In green region. It absorbs in green region. So lycopene, this natural product derived from terpenoidal precursor, tetraterpenoidal precursor. This is called lycopene. This has been isolated from a variety of different fruits. Now, if I name them, GAC, this is not very common, but GAC is very common fruit in Australia, in China, and Vietnam. Vietnam, China, Australia, this fruit is very common, GAC. Just search in the internet, in search engines about GAC. So you shall see what type of fruit is, you shall see its fruiting, its plants, everything you can observe yourself. Search for GAC. It is not native to our country. We are not familiarized with this fruit. But every one of you are familiar with all other fruits. Like tomato, every one of you are familiar. Watermelon, pink guava, and grapefruit. If you remember, tomato is very lush green in color. GAC is more than that. GAC is called the richest source of lycopene. It contains highest concentration of lycopene per unit mass. If you take 1 gram of the gag fruit, it contains maximum lycopene concentration. Second one is tomato. Then is watermelon. You have seen the watermelon is red in color. The red color of the watermelon is due to the presence of lycopene. Not I am talking about taste, sweet taste. Sweet taste is due to the presence of sucrose, glucose, or fructose. So watermelon basically and tomato, they are enriched in lycopene. Very good. You see red color watermelon. Tomato is also red color, but initially tomato is green in color. Then this green color changes to yellow, and that yellow color further changes into red. These are the physiological changes taking place. Initially, lycopene is not present. When it is green, tetraterpenoidal precursor is synthesized. When it is yellow, so that yellow contain beta carotene present in it, right? So and then the concentration tetraterpenoids are converted into lycopene. Then the red color dominates. The ripened tomato are red in color. So it means a tetraterpenoidal precursor enzyme dehydrogenase, which is acts on that and converts into red pigment, which is called lycopene. And in this is richest, it is present in GAC, high concentration in tomato and watermelon, and it has a poor concentration. Poor means very small concentration. If you are comparing with tomato and GAC, very small concentration in pink guava. If you have seen, guava is normally colorless. If you cut it, this fruit is colorless, white. But some of the strain have a pink guava. That pink guava have a small concentration of lycopene present in it. That's why it show a red color, right? Similarly, grapefruit. Grapefruit is also light pinkish. If you compare the color of grapefruit and guava, grapefruit is less pinkish than guava. So it means grapefruit contain least concentration of lycopene and guava contain higher than that. So both of these, guava and grapefruit, contain less concentration. Watermelon and tomato contains almost equal, but GAC is a fruit in the world which contains highest concentration of lycopene. Now, similarly, tomato in different forms have a different ratio of the per present. Let's say we take 1 gram of tomato in a different form. Let's say in raw form. Raw form as you purchase from the market. If you have 1 gram of this, so it depends upon, it contains 8.8 to 42 microgram. If you take 1 gram of this fruit in raw form. Why it is a range 8.8 to 42? It depends upon the soil as well. So soil, basically, if the ingredients are insufficient, it is deficient in nitrogen or etc. So the synthesis of enzymes are also being affected. This is one role. Soil plays an important role as well. Similarly, maybe what you have taken, it is present in yellow form, right? If it is yellow, so different part, because whenever we do an experiment, we take different part. We take 1 tomato, we take different parts of that. One closer where it is strict with the plant at that point, at the tail point, to central point, etc. Then we take the average. So lycopene is not same throughout, because if you take a sample from yellowish part, it shall contain no lycopene in it. So when we take the average, it shall be decreased. So that's why it is minimum 8.8, maximum 42. If we have a juice of tomato, if you put that in the juicer, so you shall have the juice of tomato. If you take 1 gram of juice, approximately 1 ml, so that shall contain 86 to 100 microgram. If you take 1 ml of that, it is very high concentration. If you take the tomato sauce, 1 gram of tomato sauce, It contains 63 to 131. If you take the ketchup basically contain approximately 124 microgram per gram. If you take 1 gram, it is equal to 124 microgram. 124 microgram is equal to 0.124 milligram. So this is the concentration of lycopene present in that. So anyhow, this lycopene is colored. It is red in color, in fact. And tetraterpenoidal precursor, it doesn't have a conjugation. It have a double bond present. You see, there are 8 double bond present, but they are not conjugated. This conjugation is done 11 double bond in conjugation, making a chromophore. You have seen in UV visible spectroscopy in previous semester. So more conjugated system, more shall be the energy difference gap shall be smaller between HOMO and LUMO. Because if there are 11 double bonds in conjugation, so you shall have 11 compositions. So HOMO and LUMO, you are having electrons. So HOMO-LUMO electron pairs, so this energy gap between HOMO and LUMO, it shall be very small because 11 double bonds are in conjugation. Normally 6, 7 are in conjugated system, acyclic system. They show you color. So there are 11. So it absorbs, it transmits. Yeah, red color, it means it is not absorbing red. So what it is absorbing? It is absorbing blue and yellow. Blue and yellow combines what? Green. It means it absorbs green, but it emits red color. Very similar to blood, hemoglobin. I have already presented in previous semester. So anyhow, this GAC is also named Cochinchin gourd in China and Vietnam. This is the common name of GAC, and this is also been cultivated in Australia as well. GAC contain, if you take 1 gram of that, it contains 2000 to 2300 microgram, mean 2 milligram to 2.3 milligram, 1 gram of GAC contains. You see, compare this composition with the second richest, tomato, watermelon. They are very, largest is 131. It is 2000 and more than 100 times it has been enriched. GAG. GAG is the richest source of lycopene. Let's say if I shift further, I am going to present a few more examples. This is the lycopene. If this lycopene, this terminal double bond, you see these all 11 double bonds are in conjugation here. In fact, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 double bonds. So this is not double bond here. There is no double bond here. This is the only one unconjugated. Otherwise, these two conjugation can be also presented. So anyhow, this pi positive charge takes and adds to this carbon-carbon double bond, generates a positive charge here. Because if it add here, it shall generate a tertiary carbocation. If it add here, it shall get a secondary carbocation. Secondary is less stable, tertiary is more stable. That's why this shall add here, generating this positive charge. This pi electron transfers this, results in what? This carbon-carbon bond formation. When this carbon-carbon bond form, which is this new bond is formed between this carbon and that carbon, generating a 6-membered ring, a positive charge is created. So this hydrogen leaves from here, generates a double bond here, so generate a double bond here. So this is double bond here. Same action is taking place here. If you look at this molecule, you have seen already, this tetraterpenoid is basically, if you look at from this side to that side, this is exactly the mirror image of this. From this part, this is looking mirror image of this. You see this methyl are opposite, this methyl and this direction. This part and this part, they are mirror image, very similar to squalene. So what happened? This action is taking place here. The same action is taking place at the end. Results in what? Results in a double bond here, a double bond here, Again, 11 double bonds are in conjugation. You see, one double bond was here, the same double bond is here. Now, this double bond was a cyclic double bond. So it contributes in chromophore, decrease the lambda max, right? Energy is decreased. But when this double bond becomes inside, if you remember the Woodward Fieser for calculating, this is a cyclic system. When we calculate these two terminal double bonds, 9 double bonds are in conjugation, but these two double bonds subtract the value. If you remember, exocyclic double bonds. They are exocyclic. They are, it is subtracted minus 16.5 per double bond. So minus 31 nanometers shall be subtracted from this value. Conjugation is decreased when it is included in the double bond. It has a lycopene have a larger double bond. It has a larger double bond conjugation, so it has a higher chromophore value. 11 double bonds are in conjugation. Here 9 are in conjugation and 2 last terminal in the ring, they are subtracting from the base value, right? So it is less basically than this one. So this is the reason it exists in orange color. So orange color is it, what is it doing? It is giving you orange color. What means? Orange is from when? Red and yellow makes orange, right? It means it is transmitting red and orange, red and yellow. It is transferring, emitting. So what it is absorbing? Blue is left. It is absorbing blue. So absorbing blue means the chromophore value is increased. Because if you see VIBGYR, violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, blue comes first. So it means this molecule have a higher value of lambda max, lower value of lambda max. This is showing a hypsochromic shift, not a bathochromic shift. Number of double bonds are in conjugation are same, but here all double bonds are acyclic. Here 2 double bonds are endocyclic. That's why these, when value is calculated, these values subtracts. 9 double bonds are considered in conjugation and 2 double bonds are outside that. This is very interesting to notice. So there shall be a, this shall have a, if you are comparing the lambda max of this and that, whatsoever the value of it is, it shall be minus 100. Minus 31 nanometer, it shall show less than this lycopene. That falls in beta carotene is orange in color. That's why it absorbs in blue region. It absorbs blue radiation and lycopene absorbs green radiations. So it absorbs lower radiation, means the energy gap is smaller, here energy gap is increased. If we are having this R1 and R2, this is R1, I am presenting here, same position I am presenting R2 in the other ring. If both of them are hydrogen, mean it is in lycopene is converted directly into this one. No, sorry. In lycopene, I forget here, lycopene, we don't have a double bond here. First hydrogenase works on this. We don't have, it is fine. We don't have a double bond. This is lycopene. So we have a ring present here, R1 and R2. If both of them are hydrogen, this is called beta carotene. Beta carotene. Beta carotene is a tetraterpenoid. Similarly, if R1 is hydroxyl, means hydroxylation takes place here, and R2 is hydrogen, this is called beta cryptoxanthin. This is also a natural product isolated. If both of them are OH, mean enzyme not only hydroxylated at this position, it also hydroxylated at that position. If both of them are OH, this is called beta zeaxanthin. So these are the 3 natural products I have presented. beta carotene. Beta carotene is isolated from sweet potatoes, carrots, mango, apricot. The color of mango yellow and apricot yellow is due to presence of beta carotene in it. And carrots, what color it has around it? I'm not talking about that. I am talking about the color inside the stalk, which is orange in color. The outer one is reddish. It contains a different pigment. It is not beta carotene. Whatsoever in the center of the carrot, the core of the core of the carrot root is different. It is reddish. But inside is the core. That core is, you see, it is orange in color. That contains beta carotene. I hope it shall be clear. The last one I am going to present here. This is also a tetraterpenoid. You see, the previous I have exemplified beta carotene, a little bit complicated. Just one ring has been formed. If you have seen lycopene, the smallest one, this is the original. Just double bonds or five conjugations or five double bonds dehydrogenase brings out, makes 11 double bonds in conjugation. Colorless pigment converts into red in color lycopene. Lycopene further undergo terminal position ring formation to form and natural products. These, now you see, if further cyclization takes place, look at that. This is a very complicated structure, but having, you see, this is one side terminal, this is the other side terminal. If you look at the structure, let's say, terminal position is this ring, terminal position this ring. Now look at here. This is the same one, CH2, CH2 present. If you remember here, CH2, CH2. It means this part is not participating here. So which is here, this one. And then it is cyclizing, making a five-member fused ring, a six-member ring. And in the end, look at here, the other terminal, which is this one, is also indicated here, which is this one, right? So if it is abibelsamine A, if this R is mean hydrogen, mean this is a carboxylic acid. On the other hand, if this is an ester, mean this is a methyl. So this is a abibelsamine B. Both of these natural products has been isolated from the plants, in fact. I hope it shall be clear to every one of you. So anyhow, I finish here all type of terpenoids. You have come across monoterpenoid, 10 carbon system, sesquiterpenoid, 15 carbon units, diterpenoid, 20 carbon units. Similarly, triterpenoid, 30 carbon unit, tetraterpenoid, 40 carbon units. So this is the almost all terpenoid I have bring into consideration their biosynthesis, how they are being biosynthesized. So you should remember, you should consider many other triterpenoids and try their biosynthesis, how the basic precursor converts into variety of them. So we shall start with new terpenoids. And so I hope we have completed 4 weeks. 4 weeks are remaining to midterm. Now we shall spend 4 weeks on alkaloids. So I also have a isolation of this that I shall bring out in next lecture. We are running out of time. How the isolation of terpenoid takes place. I shall discuss this in tomorrow, and then we shall switch over to alkaloids. Session is open if you have any question.
Yes, sir. There is a compound on slide number 13 which is being oxidized, but there are two hydroxyl group. Only one is
Your sound is low. Increase your volume.
Sir, there is a compound betulin. It is oxidized, but only one hydroxyl group is oxidized.
Yes.
Sir, दूसरे वाला क्यों नहीं हुआ?
This is what I have presented in the beginning of the course. Enzymes are specific in their action. You can't question them why they are oxidizing this methyl, why they are not oxidizing other methyls present in the molecule. This is what you have studied in the biochemistry already. You have studied a complete course of biochemistry where you have studied the enzymes. Enzymes are specific in their action. Whatsoever they select, they doesn't select the other. Because of they are having the primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structure of protein you have seen. Enzymes are basically proteins which have a non-proteinic part attached with them, which is commonly called prosthetic group. That quaternary structure of protein makes grooves, cavities in the enzyme. That cavity best fit when this molecule is fitting to that cavity, only this methyl may be outside where the action of prosthetic group is possible. Maybe they are inside the cavity, they are not undergoing. This is the reason of selectivity, not selectivity, specificity. Any other question?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, can we join the 3 units of geranyl pyrophosphate instead of two units of farnesyl pyrophosphate for the formation of terpenoid?
Or triterpenoid, if 2 units are combining with 2 farnesyl, yes. If it is, you are calling 3 geranyl pyrophosphate, how geranyl are combining with each other. This is important. If 2 geranyl first combines with head to tail, they shall give you a different combination. 20 carbon unit, GGPP. And then it should be a head to tail. It shall not be symmetrical. It doesn't undergo. In fact, farnesyl pyrophosphate undergo the 2 units, tail to tail combination. All right, so I have another